It is 52 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections. Good afternoon and welcome to Election Brief. My name is Faustina Safo. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 on all our social media handles and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, as well as Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Now, one of 4 members of parliament whose seat is at risk of being declared vacant says he's unfazed by the attempt from within his own party. NDC MP for Amenfi Central, Peter Yao Kwachiaka, is the only NDC MP contesting as an independent candidate in this year's election. The minority leader and Tamale South MP Haruna Idrisu is leading efforts to have him and 3 other MPs ousted from the House. Peter Yao Kwachiaka says he is not bothered by the moves.
Yes, you cannot eat your cake and have it. I mean, there has been precedent that the former foreigner MP also did the same, and his seat was declared. Well, not because 2 months you can't have re-election, and he went ahead and won the election. So, but because there is precedent, because Right Honorable Speaker Michael Quay declared that that was the way to go. But if you go to the article very well, if you go to the article and the condition in the Constitution, it says that you cannot cross carpet. I mean, if you are an NDC, you cannot tomorrow get up and say that you are MPP. And I believe that that is why they put that clause there, to avoid that. Because before, when that clause was not there, if you are NDC, the next day you could walk to the other side and then come back. So prevent that, they put this clause. I believe, I'm not a lawyer, I'm an engineer, and that if you are independent, you cannot change your situation in Parliament there, that you are independent, now you want to become an NDC or an MPP. I believe that is the reason why that clause was put there, because now I have not declared that I've left the party. I'm only declaring my intention that in the next Parliament, I want to be an independent. And so if somebody is also an NDC or an MPP now, and he wants to go independent, he's not saying that he's leaving MPP. He's saying that in the next Parliament, he doesn't want to go with MPP again. I believe that's how I understand it.
So you are ready for the consequences if the seat is declared vacant?
Oh, of course. If you take any action, there should be a reaction. So you must be ready for it. What is it? Because if you say you are going independent and the Speaker rules that your seat is vacant, what can you do? You cannot challenge the law because there has been precedent already. I know there has been precedent, but sometimes in court, judges make mistakes. So it depends on the Speaker what he's also going to say. That whether if you declare your intention for the next Parliament to stand in the name of another party or independent, it means that now your seat should be declared vacant. Well, it's up to them to interpret the law, not me.
Well, the former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, has cautioned that without an official complaint from the political parties and a fair hearing, declaring the 4 seats of the MPs who have chosen to contest the 2024 parliamentary election as independent candidates vacant would be illegal. On Thursday, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babing, will deliver a ruling on a motion moved by MP for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, to have 3 NPP MPs and an NDC MP seat declared vacant. Professor Aaron Michael Quay spoke to my colleague Elton Brobe in an exclusive interview.
The benefit is not his. The law does not stand to his annulment. That's why I talk about husband and a wife.
Meaning he has no locus in
he has
this
no
matter
locus.
because he doesn't belong to the MPP?
Because he doesn't belong to the party involved. Is it you who should say there's a problem in my house? You say there's a problem, I have a problem with my wife. And I'm saying I have no problem with my wife. What are you talking about? Because see, problems can arise in political parties. But they can talk and they can resolve them. It's not everything that comes within the political party that comes out. There may be trouble somewhere. We can talk about it. So it is the MPP that can trigger
the removal of these
removal of their own
parliament.
MP. Yes.
So for to put it in proper context, if Haruna Iddrisu wants something done, he can only do so as it relates to the only NDC member who is also, express his desire to contest an independent.
That is so.
But he cannot force the speaker to declare the seats belonging to the MPP MPs vacant. This can only be triggered by the MPP as a political party.
By the MPP. And that's why I've given you the background of that legal provision. It is to correct a certain mischief that can be operated against political parties. It's not a matter of debate at all on the floor of the House. In fact, if you bring debate, you create a big problem. Because now you can always use a majority in Parliament to provoke a debate, and then they will start sacking the minority people. Is that not so?
Yes.
Because if you bring it as a debate and as a vote, then if you say aye, and the ayes are more than the nay, then the motion has been carried, and that person might be sacked from Parliament. What are you talking about?
Interview airs at 3 p.m. today on The Pulse with my colleague Elton Broby. To other stories now, with just 52 days until the presidential and parliamentary elections, President Akufo-Addo has called for a national debate between the two leading candidates, MPP's Dr. Bawumia and NDC's John Dramani Mahama. He believes that such a debate is the only way to resolve questions of competence and determine who has the best plan for the country's future. The president made these remarks during a rally concluding his two-day tour of the Savannah region.
Somebody who's reliable, whose word can be trusted, who is consistent, and who is clear-minded. And that is why some of us are saying, in fact, the majority of us in Ghana are saying, we want him and Bawumia to debate the issues in our country. Why is John Mahama running away from the debate? Bawumia says he's ready any day for the debate. Why is Mahama running away from the debate? The people of Ghana deserve the debate so they can see, freely, who is doing what and saying what and representing what. Mr. Mahama, which is which? What should the Ghanaian people take from you as your position on the free senior high school? Is it safe with you? Are you going to continue it, or you're going to review it? Are you going to cancel it? None of those do we know from you. Nobody should be allowed to be president who cannot answer these questions straightforward.
The National Peace Council says it is worried about the spread of misinformation and disinformation ahead of the 2024 general elections. It believes that if not halted, this could lead to confusion, mistrust, and potential violence. Akufo-Addo joins us live from Kumasi, where the National Peace Council has been speaking against the spread of misinformation and disinformation through new and traditional media. And what is this peace crusade all about? And now you have to position rightly. Just give us a sense of what exactly happened at this peace conference. What are some of the key takeaways from the meeting? Well, Nana, you have to position rightly for me to hear you. And we'll come back to you for updates on that Peace Council meeting. Well, the Electoral Commission chairperson, Jean Mensa, has informed the various political parties the final voters' register will be made available to them in the first week of November. Speaking at the IPAC meeting yesterday, Jean Mensa also urged political parties to entreat their supporters to take advantage of the online re-exhibition exercise, which lasts until the 19th of October, to ensure their details are well captured onto the EC's database. Now, we will be engaging the NDC shortly, but first, here's a wrap of that IPAC meeting.
Well, the second ever IPAC meeting to allow media access has concluded. The meeting, which was chaired by the EC chairperson, Jean Mensa, bordered on a variety of issues, including the new online exhibition exercise, which is beginning from now till the 19th of October.
And I think I omitted to mention that the Commission will provide the certified voters register to the political parties in the first week of November. It's important to emphasize, and I think I talked about this in my presentation, and that we do not envisage that the final voters register would be a marked difference from the provisional voters register. As you can see, a lot of effort has been made to ensure that every applicant who registered, whether in 2020, 2023, and 2024, are on there. And so in arriving at the ballot statistics, although we do not have a final voters register, what we have done is to take the total number of valid voters, and we've added 2%, an increment of 2%. We believe that this is adequate to take care of registered voters.
And of course, as is characteristic of every IPAC meeting, all the parties represented had their time to share their concerns and grievances.
We are in 2024. We have crossed over 2020, and we've even had an election in 2023. That issue didn't arise in 2023 for the district assembly election, mind you. And we also had limited voter registration in 2024. Up to all this one, this is the last part he started mentioning those issues. When they did the first exhibition, why didn't he read his overhead? We are saying that the issue of your e-exhibition, don't forget, they were trying to run away and say they are not doing exhibition. And they were trying to say that they put the thing online, just on their website. Don't forget, they are still doing a re-exhibition. This is an exhibition exercise they are doing. They've given a timeline. And it's fall within regulation 23 of CI 91. We are clear in our mind.
Without their consent, when we met here at Alisa on the 1st of October, it turned out that the NDC's issue didn't have any grounding. Today, 2 weeks after the first meeting, that the media covered it live, the NDC gave out 3 names of people who are having voter ID card, but bear different individuals. The EC checked and pointed out to all of us that NDC is holding a certain data which does not exist in the system. So don't be confused with what the NDC will submit to you.
It's been a thoroughly successful IPAC meeting, which has eventually come to an end. From the Alisa Hotel, my name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Our Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustapha Bande, joins us via Zoom with more. Let's start from the campaign trail. You have been on the grounds engaging prospective voters in rural communities up north. How have they been responding to your message so far?
Good afternoon, and thank you to our cherished listeners.
Good afternoon.
I think that basically Ghanaians have made a decision that, look, this government have failed, and that obviously and definitely there should be a change of leadership to get a better option. In fact, a one that will not dissipate the public purse, one that will not throw hardship to the people of Ghana. You would find out that even up north, our water bodies are going back. And this blame is to be laid at the doorstep and the neck of President Akufo-Addo as an individual.
But then it's interesting you make mention of that, because the president has also been speaking about illegal mining. He said he made it clear that he put his presidency on the line. But then he's questioning John Dramani Mahama's plan to deal with illegal mining. What's your response to that?
The NDC and President Mahama, when we were launching our manifesto, I think President Akufo-Addo was sleeping. When we made it very clear that we will not allow people to mine in the forest reserve, I think he didn't listen to that. It is only President Akufo-Addo who came and issued permits legalizing people to go and mine in our forest reserve, knowing very well that our river bodies and our streams passes through the mountainous areas, and that is where exactly our forest reserves are. And so if you issue permits for people to mine in the forest reserve, what you have done is to give them the permit to pollute our water. And so that is very simple. He is failing to take responsibility to that.
But he has, actually. He says that the LI would be revoked. It is yet to come before Parliament. But as part of the demands organized labor made, that was one of the key demands they made. They wanted the LI 246 to revoked, and the presidency has agreed to that.
Well, President Akufo-Addo doesn't have the will, the courage to deal with that. He cannot. What he's doing now is to play to the gallery after a BNI report suggested last 2 days that they have lost. In fact, they have recommissioned a new BNI survey to be conducted. That is the only reason President Akufo-Addo have now gone into the marketplace, and his main target is President Mahama. But it will not wash. Ghanaians have examined who President Akufo-Addo is, and I think he's a wrong person to be advising Ghanaians at this point. This is the man whose family and himself have led the highest corruption regime. This is a man who supervised on the highest political syndicate of fraud against the people of Ghana. This is a man who is quite on. No, yeah, it's true. When the man promised and he doesn't deliver, at the back of it, monies have been spent. Is that not fraud? When the president gave promises and doesn't deliver, is that not fraud? When the president commissioned Ameri and sold ECG gave it to his brothers on a silver platter and they chopped money, is that not fraud? That is a legacy of President Akufo-Addo. And that man lacks what it takes to advise Ghanaians as to who to choose in the 2024 election. It also indicates that his praise for a man with whom they ran down the economy together just goes to confirm the fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia does not have any presidential ambition except to say that his whole representation and participation in the election is a cover-up for President Akufo-Addo's third-term bid. President Akufo-Addo will be the biggest loser if the MPP goes to power because he is power-drunk and desires to continue with his atrocities. And Ghanaians are saying they will get rid of him. It's simple. It's simple. President Mahama has said clearly he will not debate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. There's enough debate points to talk about. There's enough evidence that this government have a lot to deliver to the people of Ghana.
Why is he scared? Is he scared? Why don't you open up your doors to a debate? If you have the solutions, why not open up your doors to a debate?
The people who wants to hear President Mahama are the people in my village, the people in your village, who today cannot buy food, who today cannot buy farm inputs, who today cannot pay school fees, who today cannot take care of their family, who today cannot use the national health insurance. They don't have time dancing to the club music of President Akufo-Addo and the funny kakifo of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in a debate. We don't have time. The country is collapsing as a result of broad-day corruption perpetrated with the involvement of President Akufo-Addo himself and his family. And so when people are hard-pressed and Ghanaians are suffering, we should go and subject ourselves to academic exercise. Are you saying that the hardship that we are going through are not enough indicators to tell Ghanaians who to vote for? When President Akufo-Addo was saying they should try him, was it on the basis of debate that they voted for him? They voted for him because they believe that he's an honest man. It has turned out that he's not honest. It has turned out that President Akufo-Addo is corrupt. It has turned out that he is not just a mother serpent of corruption. He is a beneficiary of every single scandal
you have to let me come in at this point because these allegations we cannot stand by. Now, the EC says you'll receive the final voters register by the first week of November. Do you have any reservations?
I have stopped talking about the Electoral Commission, if you checked. I don't want to give the Electoral Commission any relevance in my pursuit of the 2024 election.
Why?
We are prepared to be vigilant because this commission has made up its mind. Otherwise, you will not go for what we call re-exhibition. If you look at the law, CI 127, if you look at Article 43, the law does not contemplate that everybody should go online and do exhibition. The law simply says there should be an exhibition exercise so that it will enable voters to go and check and correct their data. You are asking my mother in the village to go online. You are asking my mother in the village to own a mobile phone before he can check his data. What are we joking? Look, the NDC have decided on one clear thing, that the 2024 election is going to be one man, one vote, irrespective of whatever they do. And anybody who is holding the commission's ID card will vote that day. They can choose to delete all names. We don't care. They can choose to do whatever they want. We don't care. Once the person is holding a voter's ID card, he will go and vote. If they refuse, then the ultimate will be what will happen at the polling station. That one, they shouldn't blame anybody. We cannot waste our time advising a commission that is unrepentant. We cannot continue to advise a commission that is contradictory. You are now saying that you will bring a final voters register first week in November. If we see, which time are we going to use to correct that? It's deliberately calculated. Instead of MPP assisting us to correct these things, because the MPP is the beneficiary of any of the administrative challenges created by the Electoral Commission, they will not talk about the issues. They are running away from the conversation. And
so
I don't
you've given
understand.
up? Is that the case?
So we have
You've given
been
up?
very clear in our mind that one, have we given up? The commission promised that it was going to correct all the discrepancies. On one breath, the MPP is accusing us that whatever we have raised was not substantial. So what is the commission correcting all this while? So therefore, it means that the commission have accepted that the things we have raised, Dr. Omanibo Ama's presentation, were germane to the inaccuracies of the voters' register. If you promise to correct this, why do we undertake an exhibition exercise that is going to be centered online? What about the hard-to-reach areas where they don't even have network? How are they going to check this? What of people who don't have a mobile phone? How are they going to check their names? So we have not given up, but we have just decided that when you have a stubborn snake, you cut off his head. You don't play with it. We will go to the grassroots. We will go to the polling stations and parade the vote there. It will be Operation One Man, One Vote.
Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Thank you for your time here on Election Brief. Well, away from that, the Chief of Staff, Akufo-Addo, says the new patriotic party will activate all structures to ensure vigilance in this year's polls. According to her, after the 2012 election experience, which led to the party turning to the Supreme Court, the MPP has remained vigilant in the protection of the party's vote. She entreated party supporters to cover all grounds for the party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to help the party win this year's election. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
Aside from the continuous calls for credible polls from the Electoral Commission, political parties contesting the upcoming polls have often emphasized the need for vigilance at the polls. According to the Chief of Staff, the party's lack of vigilance led to a defeat in the 2012 elections, hence the reason for strategies to guard against it. Addressing traders at the Kumasi Racecourse Market, Madam Frima Opare emphasized that the party will ensure the protection of ballots for credible polls.
2012.
You all witnessed the bravery Dr. Bawumia exhibited in court during the hearing of the election petition. He proved the election was rigged. That will not happen anymore. We are now vigilant as the opponents.
On the track record of the sitting government, the Chief of Staff said she believes the flagship policy, Free SHS, is one that has positively impacted all households in the country.
The Nana Addo and Bawumia governments rolled out the Free SHS policy to educate children in all households. If we want this to continue, the NPP will have to be retained. She says,
free SHS, Ubeto Nabaseng. Sound person of Okakoton Tuma, Asana Ubako Squa, Ubeto the same.
Madam Frima Opare also charged party supporters to enhance their campaign for the party to retain power. For Joy News, Nanaya Jima Kumasi.
Well, keep your money because no amount of it will save you from losing the 2024 general election. Those are the words of MP for Adan Akufo-Addo as she predicts a landslide victory for the NDC in the December election in the Adan constituency, warning NPP activists not to rely on financial inducement to sway voters. Madam Ganza delivered this caution during a ceremony in Adan, where she handed over hundreds of starter packs to 155 apprentices whose training she spearheaded over the past 3 years. Carlos Caloni has more in the following report.
The Big Adan Presby Park buzzed with excitement as 155 apprentices gathered to receive starter packs from MP for Adan, Comfort-Doyo Ganza. The ceremony marked the end of a 3-year apprenticeship program led by the MP, aimed at equipping the youth with practical skills to fight unemployment in the area. Graduates included 100 seamstresses and tailors, 40 hairdressers and 15 masons. They received essential tools including industrial sewing machines, 40 hair dryers, 40 wash basins, trolleys, 15 wheelbarrows loaded with shovels, helmets, among others. The MP emphasized the skills training initiative is part of her broader vision to empower the youth with employable skills, offering them a path to self-sufficiency.
I invited all the masters in the district, spoke with them, that they should allow people to just walk in. And when they finish with the training, I will pay for whatever the masters deserve and make sure I settle the young girls and boys that are in my community. So today I'm here to give them whatever they deserve. And then I've already sorted out the masters. Then we give them the equipment and other things that they will need to go and start a living.
Confident of securing 92% of the parliamentary vote in the Adan constituency, she warned NPP activists to refrain from trying to sway voters with money.
They should forget these elections. They should rather keep their monies, because no amount of money they pump in will save them. Nobody is going to consider them in anything. So the organizers of the MPP should listen. Coordinators of MPP should listen. The DCE for this MPP should listen. Keep your money, because the mess they created, nobody is going to take their money and consider them and vote for them. This time.
Well, that's how we wrap up the bulletin. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Good afternoon.